Hi, I'm Annie with Miserable Cow Coaching. Contact information is in the description. Happy New Year. It's been a rough one for me so far. Today I want to talk about resolution setbacks. It's been a humbling new year for me as I've dealt with setbacks over the last 10 days. I've had to significantly readjust my expectations. I've also had to work carefully with mindset in order to not get sucked down into a downward spiral. When there's a lot of unexpected adversity piling up, that's the point where some people jump out and abandon their goals. The last 10 days or so have been very difficult. Just a big shit pile of dozens of tiny setbacks. It's been shitty, but I'm overall proud of the way that I've handled it. I've become better at maintaining consciousness, perspective, and hopefulness in the face of adversity. I also accept that there probably will be surprise adversity. That's life. Lots of ups and downs. In the past, I would have allowed myself to become hopeless. My tactic now is more to adjust and keep trying. I used to see winners, like people who crush their goals, as somehow lucky, but I'm starting to understand that it has more to do with cultivating resilience. Goals are not inherently easier for winners. They've just built a habit of making adjustments and getting up and trying again. They've built the habit of resilience. So I 100% expected to post a video last Friday, but I didn't post a video. It was almost impossible because just getting through each day has been really, really hard. So some good things. We did get a snow day. It started snowing on Boxing Day and snowed for about 3 days. And that was really fun. That was just what I wanted. I got some Etsy orders and I was able to walk to the post office to deliver the Etsy orders in the snow with my senior dog. He's 12 years old, and so I'm thinking we may not have too many more snowstorms left together. And it was also super fun to see our 2-year-old dog experience snow for the first time. She really is not a fan of it. It's a little bit too yucky and cold and messy for her, but it was still really fun to watch her experience it. My partner got really sick, the sickest that I've seen him in a long time, so that was hard to watch and just sort of interrupted the daily routines and getting things done. I got the Moderna booster shot on December 28th, and I know from past experience when I got the second dose that I really need to take a couple days off because I can experience joint pain, body aches, and some temperature regulation issues. So I blocked off 2 days and I did get the achiness and the joint pain, but I was totally cool with it. You know, it's a small price to pay if I'm protecting myself, my clients, and my family from more serious illness. I hardly ever get sick, so it was sort of a novelty for me to just kind of have permission to just get in bed and watch movies. Yeah, it sucked. It felt kind of bad, but like I said, I totally accept those minor side effects, because it's better for the greater good of society if I get a vaccination. So that wasn't too bad. Wednesday, the 29th, everything was really wet and snowy. The snow was starting to melt. My wood pile was all wet, and I was having a hard time keeping up with my wood chopping. And when you get the shot, your deltoid hurts really bad. I get a really big knot right there. So when that finally stopped hurting so much, I was ready to go out and chop some wood. And I think the second or third time that I was swinging the maul, my back went out and I dropped the maul and just laid in the snow for a while. Now, I've only ever seen people's backs go out in the movies and on TV. To be honest, I just didn't really completely understand it. How is that possible? That you're laying down and you can't move and you can't get up? I don't get it. I'm a basically fit person, so it was just really hard for me to relate to that. And even when I've had clients who say their back is out or they have severe back spasms, I kind of know what to do, but I can't completely relate to it because I've never experienced that. It's hard for me to understand how your mobility could be so limited. How does a back just not work? I didn't understand it because my back is, strong and I'm pretty fit. I get it now. So from my massage therapy and physical therapy experience, and just from my understanding of my own body, I think I pinpointed that it was just inflammation of the sacroiliac joint, but it was pain all across the back, limited mobility, and pain in the the hip and going down the leg, just really uncomfortable and very distracting and disruptive to pretty much anything that I needed to do around the house. Just work and chores. Sitting down in a chair, getting back up again, food prep, chopping wood, everything was hard. Going to the grocery store. I wanted to go to the grocery store to buy some Epsom salts, take an Epsom salt bath to make my back feel better. But I know that in the grocery store, the Epsom salt is on the bottom shelf. And I was just so stressed out about it. Like, how am I going to get down to the bottom shelf and then, pick up this Epsom salt and get back again? And then I also decided, because I was so incapacitated, that I would buy those quick start fire logs so that I wouldn't have to chop my wood so perfectly. I wouldn't need to chop a bunch of kindling. I could just put logs in there and then put one of those quick start fire things on top. Those are really expensive, but I would do anything. I would pay $30 just to make it easier to start a fire because I just could not do anything. But those are really heavy, so it was just extremely stressful to go to the store and get the heavy box of these fire logs that I needed. Just everything was hard. And when I talk about it now, I had a shitty week because my back hurt. It just seems like, how big of a deal is that? Like, people, so many people are dealing with really terrible, awful things, terminal illness, and, refugees dealing with not having a homeland, not being able to have food and shelter. So I get that. I mean, I'm kind of putting it into perspective, but just my entire daily life was interrupted. So like always, I get really excited about New Year's resolutions every year. And I wanted to just, dive in and get going on January 1st and do all the things that I'd outlined, because I've been working on building those routines and deciding, exactly what I want it to look like and sort of narrowing down and prioritizing. So I was just ready to go. And I just couldn't really get going because of this injury and the sickness and the snow and all these things. Also because the newest variant surge, I have like no massage appointments on the books. I have some coaching appointments and that's great, but people are scared to come in and get a massage. And I expect it to be that way for about 6 weeks until we get over this current surge. Financial scarcity is one of my biggest triggers for hopelessness. That can put me into a downward spiral when my bank account gets really, really scary. In terms of mindset, I was just fighting with all this. Like, I can't execute these goals that I had outlined, and I'm scared about money. I feel like crap. Physical pain, physically drained. My partner's sick. Everything's disorganized. Chores are hard. So everything's hard. A lot of setbacks, and also the mindset component of it. Feeling this undercurrent of negativity trying to pull me down into a downward spiral. I had to really be vigilant and work with that very carefully in order to not allow that to happen. Okay, so here are the goals that I had outlined. I always put health and fitness first. I want to build muscle mass because I'm about to turn 45 and I tend to go all in on cardio, but I know that to be a balanced, healthy, aging person, I really need to work on my strength, core strength, and just building muscle mass in general. Dry January. I'm not drinking in January. Going back to a low carb diet after some, higher carb eating during the holidays, and getting back to my intermittent fasting schedule. Sitting down and playing guitar and singing every day. Daily meditation, and then other various goals related to building the coaching practice. And I was able to do some of that. Not drinking has been really easy because I'm highly motivated to be healthy. Having some physical pain just has been really motivating. I know that if I'm cutting out sugar and alcohol, that will help reduce inflammation. So really anything I can do to reduce inflammation right now, I'm 100% committed to, because I just want to feel good and have good days and have good energy. But in terms of the exercise, I'm not doing the plan that I had outlined for myself because I just physically can't. It's a lot of gentle movement, rehab exercises, and it's getting a little better every day. I will eventually execute the strength building routine that I had originally outlined. I'm just not there yet. So I've had to adjust, be creative, and just accept that I'm going to have to take some smaller steps along the way before I get back up to, a more normal level of fitness that I can actually do the plan that I had outlined. I've reduced carbs, alcohol, and sugar, but I've kind of half-assed it because on some of those days, even just like making a meal was too difficult. But I have each day reduced my carbohydrates more and more as I'm starting to feel better and like be more capable of getting my basic chores and meal prep done. I have not played guitar because sitting is not not the easiest thing for me. I'm sitting down, getting up, getting in the guitar, just physical positions were really difficult for a while, so I just skipped that. I will get back to it. Daily meditation was easy. So when I meditate, I lay down in my bed or on my massage table. So that one was easy, and it actually made me feel a lot better. It's really comfortable for me to lay down like with a pillow underneath my knees and just, relax and float away on a journey. So with the back injury, I knew that gentle movement is the right thing to do. I stayed pretty conscious and didn't slip down into the hopelessness. And I also stayed in more of a solution-minded space, trying to think of what is the most responsible thing that I should do right now. Stepping outside of myself and looking at myself objectively, what is the best thing for me right now? The most responsible, the most healthy, what adjustment can I make? I knew that getting back to moving as normally as possible without overdoing it, without strenuous exercise, was the most responsible thing to do. So on January 1st, I leashed up my dog and was just trying to go on an easy walk, no running or anything, just a nice morning walk. And I was walking along and actually starting to feel better. Just the movement, moving the kinks out of my back. It was sort of painful, but I could tell that the mobility was good for me. And I was starting to feel really hopeful. I still can have, the new year that I wanted. It's just that it was slightly delayed. But then there were these patches of really sneaky, super thin black ice. I didn't even know that they were there. Like, I'm pretty aware and pretty cautious, but I couldn't see them at all. It was like this sneaky assassin ice. I just slid on the ice like 2 or 3 feet and my back totally locked up again. And so at that point, I was like 1.5 miles away from home and I had to walk all the way back, and it was really hard because I was just trying to go easy, but my back kept just like surprise, clenching up again with this pain. That was a dark moment because I had just been starting to feel hopeful and I just felt this negativity like pulling me down. I don't know how bad this is going to be. How long is this going to last? I walked home and then just reevaluated and readjusted again, and it wasn't fun. But I did the best I could. So here I am trying to do all the right things, trying to do the responsible thing, trying to have a healthy mindset, and slipping on the ice was just like a slap in the face. And we had a few days of pouring rain, just a torrential downpour, and even my office here leaked a couple days in a row. So there was like a little flood here on the floor, which was not super fun. But then yesterday, which was the 4th of January, I decided to try the walk again because there was a little break in the rain. Once again, it was like going really well, starting to feel much more mobile, starting to feel hopeful, like, yeah, it's happening. This is the start of the new year. We're going to move forward from here and things are going to get better and better. And I slipped again, this time on grass. There's no way I could have known this. Like, it literally just looked like grass. But because the ground was so saturated, I don't know, I hit it just a certain way and I just skied on the grass for like a couple of feet and my back locked up again. I just couldn't believe it. I feel like there are forces conspiring against me this year. But I just walked home, did the best I could, readjust my expectations again, and moved on with my day and just did what I could. And I know that this will pass. A week from now or a couple weeks from now, life will look better. I'll get back into my goals. I will figure out this back injury. I will build core strength and get stronger and possibly protect my back from this ever happening again, because I'm now 100% committed to core strength and strength in general. I just would encourage anyone who is struggling with setbacks related to their goals to just keep readjusting and getting up again and trying again. Because if you don't do anything at all to work towards your goals this year because you get too discouraged or hopeless, then just imagine where you will be in a year. Maybe not accomplishing anything, or maybe worse off than you are right now. There are outer setbacks that can be very real, but you can also be creative and work around them. And there are inner mindset issues that just take vigilance and a habit of resilience to overcome. And it might seem really difficult in the moment, but I think in the long run, if you build this muscle of resilience, then you'll just be happier as the years go by, as you build this habit more and more. Yeah, so if you give up and you don't do anything, you probably won't get anywhere. But if you learn how to keep picking yourself up and trying, then you will get somewhere, even though it might not look how you want it to look, might not be easy. And so I'm also seeing the silver lining outlining here. This has been a good lesson for me because it's sort of reminded me and emphasized that one of the most important habits that you can build is resilience. If you need support clarifying your goals or outlining a plan to achieve them, I'm here for you.